Hey everyone, welcome to this check-in session for our Kubestronaut cohort. My name is Mumshad and I'll be your host today. If you're here from YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever that is, please do send a hi message in the comments and let me know who you are and where you're from. We haven't had a session, I think, in the past couple of weeks, and that was mainly because we were busy. We were out in the field, if you want to call it that way, at KubeCon and other events. So just got a little bit busy with the preparations for that. So we were out and we couldn't do the check-in session last time. But hopefully we'll continue the check-ins going forward. I do have a bunch of announcements today. And I do not have any particular technical topic planned. I just didn't have time. Sorry about that. But I would love to know from you, what is it that you would like me to cover in the future sessions? So do share that in the comments. I do have a few questions for you that I'd love to get some opinions on. But yeah, I do see your messages. So hi, Abhinav from Chennai. We have Vishwambar. We have Abu Talib. Abu Talib, we met at KubeCon, so I do remember that. Good to see you here. And then we have Shubham. We have Guillermo Pali from Brazil. We have Oscar from Spain. We have Lucas from Argentina. Antonio, DevOps engineer from Croatia. Hi, Antonio. Abhinav, we met at KubeCon 2. Yep, that's awesome. Yep, and here we are. And then we have someone from Tanzania and someone from Aksoy from Turkey. We have Thiru Malazagan from India, Mithilesh from India as well. So Thiru Malazagan from Chennai. All right. And we have DevOps in Dubai, from Dubai. And we have Yatin, who's passed the CKA on the 10th of August. So yeah, congratulations, Yatin, on your certification. We'll also share a few others who have recently completed the certification. So let's just dive in. All right, so what I'm going to do is a little bit of updates from KubeCon India. There's been some major announcements. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, especially for the certification holders. So watch out for that. I'll call out some of those who have completed your certifications and tagged me on LinkedIn. We also have some new course launches and updates, and we'll also check in on the leaderboard. And of course, Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions for me, do drop your questions in the chat. I'd love to answer them. I also need some other help from you. I'm trying to plan the topics for the remaining check-in sessions for the rest of the year. And I'd love to know if you could. I'd love to know what are some of the hardest topics that you face when you learn while preparing for the Kubernetes exams. So please do share those details in the chat here as we go through this session anytime. So what topics would you like me to cover during these sessions? And generally, if not Kubernetes, like what are you learning next? Anything about anything outside of Kubernetes, maybe cloud native, maybe AI. I would love to know what you all are learning currently. So coming to KubeCon India. KubeCon India happened last week on the 6th and 7th of August. And we were there at Hyderabad, about 4,000 people. And there was some big announcements made. So one of the challenges that our colleagues in India, students in India face is really payment-related issues, right? international payment. You have to pay internationally to get vouchers for the cloud native certifications. So you have international payment gateway challenges, as well as the pricing. As you can imagine, pricing for, say, a Kubestronaut bundle can be quite high if you're paying in US dollars. And I know that this is also a problem in many other countries, and I hope we can come up with similar solutions for all the other countries. But because India is a large market, we're based in India, we thought that that's something that we could start solving for. So we've had some discussions with the Linux Foundation and CNCF. It had been going on for the past few months, and finally we have come to an agreement, to a partnership where we can provide subsidized, discounted prices on certifications. So when you purchase a KodeKloud subscription, you can add on the CNCF certification vouchers at a much lower price than what you would pay in USD directly to CNCF, and you can pay that through Indian payment gateways. So you can see a lot more information about that, and we have a page set up for that, and we'll share the link to that page in the comments section very soon. So do check that out. If you have any questions about that, feel free to share that here. The next thing, I just want to walk you through what happened at KubeCon. So we had a booth. That is our booth, how it looked before, and that's the team. So that's basically me and some of the others who are part of the product team, engineering team, as well as the marketing and sales team. So we were there, and I know we met a lot of you while you were there. So and we had a lot of engagement. So thank you so much to those all those who were there and who supported us. We also had printed real books. A book we authored called Kubernetes Made Easy. It's an illustrated book, guide to Kubernetes, helping you learn the basics of everything. So if you like our courses, you'll love the book. And this was a free giveaway. I think we had about 300, 400 books, and it was all given away in about an hour and a half, because we had such a big queue at the booth for the book. So I got to meet a lot of you there, and unfortunately the books were all given away in about an hour and a half, and not everyone got it. So hopefully next time we'll get there with more of those. I also had the exclusive opportunity to sit down with Chris Aniszczyk, who's the CTO of CNCF. We recorded a podcast, and we will be releasing that podcast on our YouTube channel very soon. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll let you know when the podcast is out. We had some interesting conversations around Chris's story. So if you've been following our YouTube channel, we had been conducting this podcast series. I think we just did one for now. Another one is coming out, but this is going to be the third one. The podcast series is about people's journey in tech, right? And I interviewed Chris on his journey, how he became the CTO of CNCF. That was basically the whole thing. And also, I had asked I had requested for a bunch of questions from the community. I also had the opportunity to ask him about those. All right. So if you are interested in attending future KubeCons, I just thought I'll give you a quick idea of what's happening next. So there's the KubeCon North America that's happening in Atlanta, Georgia, in November, between November 10th and 13th. That's the biggest event, and there's a lot of other conferences happening around that too. Like there's ArgoCon, and all of the other projects have their own kind of smaller conferences the day before. There's a co-located events and everything. So if you're interested in that, there's I think 12 weeks left for that, and if you're interested in attending, do go to the CNCF website and check in on that. We're not going to be there, unfortunately, as a sponsor, but we might be there as an attendee. We are also sponsoring the Dan Cohn sponsorship scholarship, which allows people to, which basically sponsors those who are not able to make it. So through CNCF, you can apply for that, and they'll kind of fund your travel and tickets and everything, right? So we are sponsoring for that, but we're not going to be there as a with a booth. But we will be there most likely in Europe. That's 2026. That's the 23rd and 26th of March. Lots of time left for that. But just a reminder that there's also the talk submission option available right now. So do look into that and submit the talks for that whenever that opens. Beyond that, there's also KubeCon happening in Japan, July. So that's next year, but that's the new event, the new KubeCon that's starting. And then there's they've also announced KubeCon India next year, and that's going to be happening in Mumbai. So good news to those who are based in Mumbai. A quick shout out to those who have recently completed their certifications. So Nikhil Saxena has completed the CKA. Congratulations to Nikhil. Ganesh recently completed his CKA again, and I think he's going for the CKAD. So congratulations to Ganesh. We have Noel Nirisheja, who's completed the CKA. Congratulations to Noel. We have Danielle, who's completed, who's become a Kubestronaut finally after completing, crushing the CKS. That's 87 out of 100. That's a pretty good score for a CKS exam. So congratulations to Danielle on completing on becoming a Kubestronaut. It's pretty huge. We have Bijoy Paul, who's also completed his journey of becoming a Kubestronaut, as completing all the 5 certifications. So congratulations to Bijoy on that achievement. We have Amanda Moore, who's completed the KCNA, the KCSA. Awesome job! Congratulations to Amanda on the certification. We have Sasindu Fernando, who has recently completed the CKAD. So congratulations to Sasindu. Yujun, I think most of you probably already know him. He's also completed all of the certifications and became a Kubestronaut. So congratulations to Yujun. We have Daniel, who's completed the CKA and KCNA, and is currently in progress towards completing his CKAD, CKS, and KCSA. So congratulations to Daniel, and all the best to the future exams. We have Amal Raj, who's done the CKAD. So that's 2 out of 5. Congratulations to Amal. We have Saurabh Kadam, who's completed his journey towards becoming a golden Kubestronaut. That is pretty cool. That's completing all the 14 or 15 certifications. So pretty cool. Congratulations to Saurabh. That's huge, huge effort. And just so you know, we are also starting a golden Kubestronaut track similar to this. So a cohort for golden Kubestronauts. So do check in on that. We also have Alex, who has also completed the golden Kubestronaut track. So congratulations to Alex. And then a few of the other certifications. So this is the Cilium Certified Associate, so the CCA, one of the golden Kubestronaut prerequisites. So Bolivar David has completed the CCA. Congratulations to Bolivar. We have Manish, who has completed the ICA, the STO certified exam. This is one of the tougher ones. So congratulations to Manish on that certification. We have Ihor Deniskov, who has completed the STO certification. Again, congratulations to Ihor. We have Yusuf, who's done the LFCS. Congratulations to Yusuf. Ihor also did his Backstage Associate certification. So congratulations to Ihor on the Backstage certification. Shaker has recently done the Terraform Associate certification. Congratulations to Shaker on that. Umar Ali Butt completed his Microsoft Azure Fundamentals certifications. So congratulations to Umar on that. Jarwat has completed the CCA, the Cilium Certified Associate certifications. Congratulations. Olivier has done the Prometheus Certified Associate. So we have a course for that, the PCA by Sanjeev. And yeah, congratulations to Olivier on that certification. We have Abdul Bakir, who's completed the AWS Cloud Practitioner. Congratulations. And we have another Ihor who's done the Backstage Associate certification. So congratulations to that. Luis Fernando completing his PCA certification. Congratulations to Luis. And we have Jarwat, who's done the AWS Cloud Practitioner. Congratulations, Jarwat. Awesome. All right. So that's all of those who have completed the certifications. Congratulations to all of them who's done the certification, and all the best to those who are planning for their future ones. Now, a couple of things about our upcoming and future courses. So if you know, we originally started about like 4 or 5 years ago when we first started our courses. We originally created the beginner level courses on DevOps topics like Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. And when we had a lot of demand for requests for expanding to other areas, we then started creating courses on beginner level courses on other topics like cloud. And so we started building labs and playgrounds and everything on cloud. And we realized that a lot of our student base didn't have the basics required to start working on Docker and Kubernetes. While a lot of them did, a lot of the others did not. So we realized that there was a need to create a Linux prerequisite courses, right? Like Linux and cloud and DevOps. And so that led us to creating the courses like LFCS and Linux beginners and DevOps prerequisites and basic cloud computing courses and things like that. And so that was the expansion to that area. And then we went back to creating more around advanced DevOps and cloud native and CI/CD courses, right? So this is where we expanded into some of the like the HashiCorp certifications, the rest of the Kubernetes and Golden Kubestronaut certifications, Istio and Cilium and Backstage and things like that. We also expanded into GitHub Actions and Jenkins and all of that in CI/CD. As well as some of the cloud courses on Solutions Architect Associate and Professional. And now we have the machine learning as well as DevOps certifications that we are working on right now. And as you can imagine, right now, AI is, there's a lot of buzz around AI. When we met most of the students at KubeCon, everyone wanted to know, like, what is the next thing that we're working on in terms of AI, and what are the future courses, and how can we help enable everyone on AI. So there's that happening. But at the same time, we also see that a lot of people who wants to get into AI or DevOps, there are a lot of like real absolute beginners who are still missing some of the foundational knowledge. Like, for example, what are GPUs, and how do you train the models and things like that. Some of the basics of mathematics that are required to learn machine learning and things like that. So there's also the foundations knowledge that is kind of missing. So we're kind of expanding both towards the advanced topics as well as towards the foundational topics. So on the AI side, we recently released a couple of courses on MCPs and AI agents. These are all hands-on courses with hands-on labs, similar to our Kubernetes courses. So we had a couple of crash courses that we have released on YouTube on MCPs, but there's a full-fledged course now that teaches MCPs for beginners. And similarly, we have another course on AI agents that's taught by Gav. The MCP one is taught by Jeremy. And now that we have a bunch of other courses that are also coming out on AI, everything to do with RAG and running machine learning models on Kubernetes, Kubeflow. So there are a bunch of courses that we have started to work on in that direction. But going back to the foundations and the fundamentals, this week we released 5 courses in a row. So we have been releasing a course each day. So on Monday we had the computer architecture course, and then we had the operating systems and applications course, the virtualization and containers course, networks and communications course. There are 4 courses that are now available on KodeKloud that cover the foundations. And then there's another course that's coming out that's going to be released tomorrow on mathematics for computing, right? So this is going to be is going to help build the foundations needed to learn machine learning and data science and other things, which will eventually help in learning AI deeply. So these are really foundational courses, which personally I'm very excited about. Once in a while I'd love to go back and refresh the foundations and unlearn and relearn new things, right? So these courses are all available there except for the mathematics course, which is going to be available tomorrow. So do check these out. And of course, if you have references, if you have people who are who are getting into IT, or who wants to build a career in IT, then this is the perfect starting place for them. Up until now, we could only teach people who already knew basics of computers, and who wanted to who already had some basics of Linux and IT and things like that. But now we're able to kind of expand to a lot of others who may not have those foundational knowledge. All right, and then there's 2 other upcoming courses. So there's the GitOps Certified Associate that's going to come out, and there's also the Certified Cloud Native Platform Engineering Associate Certification, the CNPA. There's been a lot of requests for that, and that's going to be coming out soon. Now, there's one thing that we had recently released on our free kind of labs page. So I'm not sure if you've seen this. We call this the KodeKloud Studio, which is basically a bunch of free tools that are available, like a LinkedIn photo generator and free labs. So here we have all the free labs categorized by domains. So these are basically, there's about 12 labs in the DevOps prerequisites section. There's about 7 Kubernetes labs, about 9 Docker labs. So these are scenario-based labs. But then here we have playgrounds, and these playgrounds are just free playgrounds that you can bookmark. So in case you want to get an instant Kubernetes cluster, a Kubernetes cluster instantly, and just to try something out, you could use these, right? So if you go to this page, you can use the link given here. Just paste that in the description. And what you can do here is, if you go to the Kubernetes playground, you have the Kubernetes multi-node cluster, and here you have different versions, right? So currently the latest available version is 1.33. So every time the latest Kubernetes version comes out, we actually update this to have the new version. But if for some reason you wanted to go to an older version and test something out, you can easily go to that by clicking on this link here, right? So it's going to take you there. And then we have the Falco playground, and we're going to be adding a few other Kubernetes playgrounds as well. But what I wanted to highlight is the cloud playgrounds, which we have kind of just released last week. So if you select the cloud playground section here, there's the AWS free playground. Now, this is like something that we have just recently started. So when you're a KodeKloud subscriber, you do get access to like a full-fledged AWS playground, right? Which we have been adding a lot of support for very recently. It currently supports 100+ services. But we also have like a free tier of that. So if you go to this AWS free playground, even if you're not like a paid subscriber, you can still get access to an AWS account instantly. So I'm just going to walk you through this. But there is this. Let me just go back. So if you look at the project section here, you're going to be able to see all the a project story. So it gives you like a small project that you can work on, and on the left you have the project story, you have the requirements, and then you also have kind of the task that you can use. Now, before I continue, let me go back and real quick end my session. All right. Cool. So here you can see all the project related tasks. So there's a bunch of things that you can do. Like there's like 4 or 5 phases, and then in each phase there are a bunch of tasks that are listed. And if you look at each of those tasks, you have specific instructions given. Like for example, you have to deploy an EC2 server, so you can go there and click on that and kind of deploy an EC2 server, or use the instructions that you can follow through in the console to deploy that EC2 server. And on the left side, what you see is really a checklist, so you can just check it off as you go through. And so it's kind of like a mini project where you're asked to do a bunch of things and hook it up together, right? So do check it out. You can get instant access to an account immediately if you just go there, and then you can just use that to check out the tasks and keep working on that. If you like it, do share your feedback, and we're going to be planning to add more mini projects that you can do. But yeah, it's a very limited account, and so there are like limitations in what you can do, but really beginner friendly, right? All right, so now going back to the cohort, I think I'll just skip a couple of these slides because we now have 3 cohorts, and yeah, I think this is one way we can summarize. So we now have 3 cohorts, and each cohort has like 2 paths. The path 1 is kind of the easier path, and path 2. No, path 1 is kind of the faster path. Then path 2 is more of the easier path. So if you're in cohort 1, by now you should be doing your CKS certifications, and both path 1 and path 2. I know the earlier certifications were kind of mixed up, but now you can do both. In cohort 2, you have the path 1, which is the KCNA, and path 2 is the CKA. So you should be close to completing your KCNA by now. And in cohort 2, you should be path 2. You should be doing your CKA right now. And cohort 3 is our latest cohort. We just started in July. So path 1, you should be doing your CKA, and path 2, you should be doing your KCNA by now. I think by end of August, you should be completing your KCNA. So let's take a look at the leaderboard. So we have 3 courses running. We have almost 800 students in each of them. So the January cohort already has about 190 of those who have certified, about 166 who have already completed the courses, and about 640 who are currently in progress. If you look at CKA, we have about 489 who are currently pursuing the CKA, and about 152 who have already completed their CKA certifications. Let me go back. In the April cohort, we have about 110 who have already completed their certifications. And just a reminder, whenever you do complete your certifications, do come here and add your certification details. About 94 have already completed the courses. And if you look at CKA, we have about 322 who are going through the CKA, about 40 who has completed the courses, about 77 who have been certified. So those who are going through the courses, do remember to, like if you've attempted your certification, just make sure you mark your course complete and move forward so that your status is reflected as is. I think most of these are those who have already completed their course, but maybe we might have added a lecture or something, and you probably did not mark that as complete. So most likely this is because of that. But do remember to go in and just mark your courses as complete. And if you look at the latest cohort, we have about 367 who have already started their journey. About 49 completed the courses. About 86 have already been certified, and some of them have already. I guess they've already had some certifications in the past, and they've just joined the cohort. But we do want to see these numbers shoot up. So do keep and we've been sending you emails. I hope you're getting them about how your rank has changed, and the more you do, the more your rank, it reflects on your rank in this leaderboard. So do use it as a kind of a healthy competition, and also join the Discord channel to share your journey, share your success with each other. All right. So yeah, we do have 2 cohorts coming up. So there's the Golden Kubestronaut cohort that I mentioned. This going to start soon, and Sanjeev will be leading that. And then we also have the AI cohort that will start very soon, and Jeremy would be leading that. And that would be a list of AI certifications. So that's coming up soon. And in case you did not hear, we also recently started a 100 Days of DevOps challenge. This is a free challenge that's available to everyone. So if you go to this link, it's done through the KodeKloud Engineer platform. So if you're already part of the KodeKloud Engineer platform, you would have seen this highlighted in the dashboard. So the idea is you get one DevOps task each day, starting with super simple ones, and then we kind of build on the complexity. So a lot of people have already started. So do give it a shot. Just like one task a day kind of keeps the doctor away. That's the whole idea. And you get like random tasks that you would get as if if we were working in a kind of a real company, right? So just random tasks that you're gonna get, and then you got to figure out how to solve that. So there's a little bit of learning basics, refreshing that happens as you go through and work on these. And do share it in your circle, and this is really helpful for those who are who like learning a little bit every day. All right, and if you haven't booked your certifications yet, you may use this coupon code to get a 35% off. And this is applicable to everyone. But if you're in India, as I mentioned earlier, if you look at the Linux Foundation partnership link that we had shared here, you can get it at a little bit more discounted price. But if you're outside of India, then you can get up to 35% off by using this code. All right, so that's basically it. That's all I have for today. I really love to know what you would like me to cover during future sessions. I can come a little bit more prepared, but I'm just going to go through and look at the Q&A and answer any questions that you may have. So Zamshid has a question. I've completed K8's beginner course. I've completed half of CKA. After completing the course, when should I sit for the exam? So my recommendation is, of course, you want to complete the entire course. There are mock exams at the end of the course, so do make sure to do that. We also have some advanced kind of mock exams, which we call as the ultimate mock exams. There's about 5 of them. that are a bit more tougher than the usual ones. So that's just for extra practice, because everyone keeps asking for like more and more practice. So I would say once you go through all the entire course, do all the labs. What I've seen people do mostly is just do the labs again and again, right, through the entire course. So do the labs as many times as possible. I mean, all the labs, multiple, 1 or 2 times. But then the mock exams a lot of times, right? Like really go through and practice and get your speed ready, because when you're in the real exam, what matters is how fast you think and how fast your hand moves. How easily can you like fix issues. If you run into a YAML issue, how easily can you fix? So those kind of things. So I would really recommend just timing yourself with the mock exams and doing it as fast as possible. So yeah, and then also don't wait till you're like 100% sure, right? So you do have a retake. I would say use that. So even if you're like 80, 85% sure, you should attempt. That's what I would say. And you also don't need 100% to pass. So I think you should take those chances. The most important thing is learning, right? So if you've gone through the course and done the labs multiple times, done the mock exams multiple times, then you've learned a lot. Now, to clear the exam, you don't want to wait for perfection, right? You do want to you do have an insurance with the second attempt. I'm not saying you should go for it unprepared, but like if you feel 80% confident, you should just book the exam. Booking the exam will add a little bit more pressure, and that's a kind of a hack I've done for myself. It'll give you a bit more pressure, and now you have to learn a bit more. So that might get you from 80 to 90. But then anything above 80% confidence, you should definitely take a chance. Yeah, the hardest thing was RBAC, role-based access control. I think there are a few questions asked in different Kubernetes exams about RBAC, and sometimes the cluster role binding and the normal role binding. Some of these can be a bit confusing. I think this is a valid one. Maybe I'll take that as one of the topics for our future sessions. So thanks for the recommendation. So generative AI and agentic AI, this is definitely the talk of the town, right? And I'm spending a lot of time learning that by myself, just working on random projects, building simple AI systems using AI. So I would love to. We're creating a lot of videos around it. So if you're interested in me covering AI, anything related to AI in these sessions, I'd love to do that. So yeah, thanks for the suggestion. I can definitely take that up. I'm planning to take CKA exam and it's expensive based on cost. When would be during the rest of the year to schedule, buy, and sit? I would say so. There's a coupon that I shared. It's kind of an affiliate coupon for us that was given to us by Linux Foundation. So that would give you a 35% discount. So I think that's the best option available right now. But from time to time, there are also other sale that happens. So let's say during Black Friday, everyone runs the biggest sale of the year, right? So if you want to wait until then that may be the best option. But time is money, so I would say go for it right now. And if you're confident you can sit for the exam in the next couple of months, then I wouldn't say to waste your time to wait. The best would be like a $20 to $30 difference, right? Maybe not worth it. So if you're confident, yes. If you're not confident and you think like you want a little bit more time, and you're sure like it would take you 3 or 4 months, maybe after Black Friday, only then you're going to be ready, then maybe easier to just wait till Black Friday. Yeah, there's. But I think what I can see is something to do with resources, resource allocation across nodes. So there can definitely be questions around resources and resource allocations on nodes, and I think we do have some lectures around that, around resource limits and specifications around that. So those lectures should help, as well as maybe something to do with node affinity and workload placement. So kind of a combination of some of those might help there. All right, just going through the remaining questions. So Kubestronaut program by removing repeated content. There is definitely repetition in content in the different exams, right? Like for example, if you take pods, CKA exam would have something to do with pods, or CKAD would have something to do with pods. KCNA would have, like a lot of exams would have something or the other to do with pods. So it's important to teach that. But one thing we could do is really, and different students learn different courses, or they follow a different path. Some like to start with KCNA and then do CKA. Some like to start with CKA and then KCNA. So there's that too. So there are some of these complexities, which is why we're not able to like deduplicate content from courses. But one thing we had done in the past is we had this kind of a tracker that can kind of help you. Let me just bring that up. So we have these knowledge graph, as I call it, which kind of helps you understand like what's covered where, and what's kind of the duplication, right? So if you look at CKA, you can see that like this is how the topics from CKA are overlap with CKAD, or how if you select CKAD, you can see what are the topics that overlap between CKA and CKAD. It's available at kubestronaut.kodekloud.com. And this is a high level map. It's not like 100% accurate. It doesn't mean like everything that's covered here is also covered here. It's a high level map, but at least it'll give you an idea of like how much you would have covered if you learn one if you prepare for one certification, how much that would cover the other certifications. So from this, I would say you should be able to kind of build your own path. I mean, we can try and see. It's a good idea. I think we can probably see how you can form your own kind of course, right? I mean, that would be the best approach, I guess. If you're able to like pick all of these topics and then kind of build your own course, maybe that's an interesting project as I'm sharing it. But yeah, until we have something like that, I think the best way is to just work with the repetition a little bit. And it also helps you kind of prepare for the exam more. Because if there's a topic that's covered in the first course, and then you read that, learn that, you deliver, you give the certification, you pass. In the second course, the second exam does not cover it, third exam does not cover it, but the fourth exam does cover that. And if the same topic is not included in the fourth course, then there's a chance that you might have forgotten, maybe not the entire concept, but like maybe some specifics in that concept that might be needed, in the exam. So in such cases, it still helps to go through and do it again, right? So in that sense, I think it's still valuable. But yeah, great feedback. I think we can So there's something we can do with it. So the KK app for Android, this is a good question. I mean, we've been getting a lot of requests for the mobile app. And we've also learned during KubeCon that a lot of our students have been kind of hacking their way around it, right? Like in Android, you can save the website as an app, which we found out while we were there. Regardless, we are working on a native app, and it's going to be out soon and going to be available for Android soon. So it is just in the final stages. Our goal is to make it available within a month or so. So stay tuned. And yeah, I can say that with confidence that it is coming. By the way, those who there's a link to the ebook in the description. So the book that we physically printed and delivered to everyone at KubeCon, and we plan to continue to do that for all future KubeCons. There's also an ebook version which you can access using the link. So ML Ops, there's a lot of requests for that. We're working on that. But if you would like to share a little bit more about anything specific that you're looking for, that would be even better. It will help us build the right course. Well, we're definitely working on an MLOps course right now. I think there's already an MLOps foundational course, but we're working on a course on running AI workloads on Kubernetes. So that's happening too. So there's a question from Ravindu on if I have previously passed KCNA, but it has expired, and then I complete CKA, can I still become a Kubestronaut without retaking or renewing the KCNA? I think from what I understand, these certifications need to be active because the topics change so much. The environments change so much that I think a certification done a couple of years back would be invalid very soon. So I think to be a Kubestronaut, you do need to have all active certifications. But if you already did CKA, I would say the KCNA would not be that hard. And you've already done KCNA too, so it's just a matter of refreshing. With the advent of AI, MCPs, etc., do these certs still make one marketable? So for the past couple of years, I mean, AI has been here for about 2 years now, and it's improving at a much faster pace, month by month. A lot of things are changing, but I feel like there's still a lot of work to do, right? And underneath all of the underneath everything still runs on servers and Kubernetes clusters. So I feel like there's going to be a lot more demand for work going forward because there's a lot more problems to be solved. A lot of problems now that AI can solve. So there's going to be a lot of startups coming up, a lot of lot more applications and things that are going to be developed. And as long as there are problems to be solved, there are applications to be built, there's the need for servers to host these applications. The certifications or anything, right? The skills, anything that you use to prove your skills matter. This could be certifications. It doesn't have to be certifications. This could be projects. This could be your contributions to GitHub repositories. And this is really your experience, right? So as long as you're learning, and I think it's of all times in the past, this is the time where we have to probably learn the most, right? And we've seen these cycles in the past too, right? Like maybe like 20 years ago, you all moved from mainframe to working on servers, and then virtualization came in, there was a big learning that shift that happened. There was a paradigm shift that happened in going from like hosting applications on servers to then virtualization, and then virtualization, and then came cloud. So there's another big shift happened, where we all from learning virtualization, we moved to learning cloud. And this is another major, really big change that's happening. And the only thing that we can do right now is to learn and understand it, and make ourselves upskill ourselves. So I'm spending a lot of time learning, and I think everyone should do the same. And the certs or anything that can help you prove your skills. This could be just writing about what you're learning. This could be writing blogs. This could be creating educational content. This could be sharing what you learned on LinkedIn or other platforms. This could be learning together. This could be contributing to GitHub projects. This could be creating your own projects. Whatever that is, I think it's important to do that, to learn and do that at this stage. How many questions can we expect from the updated topics in CKA? So CKA was updated a couple of months back, and we have also updated our courses and the mock exams and everything based on that, and also based on everyone's feedback. So I think our course is in a pretty stable state right now. So I think just going through the course, going through the mock exams should be good enough to gain enough experience to pass the exam. Going through the other questions. Planning for the CKA exams in a couple of weeks. So Vera asks, I'm planning for the CKA exam in a couple of weeks. I have a bunch of questions during the mock exams. Which forum is the right one to ask the questions? So we have a couple of forums available. One is the Discord channel. So there's and we're pretty active there. So do join the Discord community. I think we have about 50,000 users or so there. And there are different channels available. So do join that and ask questions there. And we have some of our teaching assistants who are there all the time, helping others. That's one thing. The other is the community forum. So if you go to KodeKloud.com/community, there's a community forum, and a lot of questions at times that you probably have asked have already been asked before. So there is so you can try and post your question there, but if like someone has already asked the question there, you would see it would automatically show you that question, and then you can see the answer right there. So yeah, those are two channels. So do post your questions there. So Francisco asks, I am preparing for CKS exam. After I take the CKS course, what do you recommend? So take the CKS course, practice the mock exams, and look around. I mean, there are many resources that are available out there where you can like practice more. So do check it out, and attempt the exam. Again, you have two opportunities to clear the exam. So if you feel like 80-90% confident, you should take the exam. For the CKS, I would recommend just going through maybe one or two other rounds of revision, especially in the mock exams and the labs. I would say try and play around, try and investigate a little bit more around the tools that are mentioned in the course. So maybe there's like some third-party tools available like Trivi and others. So do spend a little bit of time working with those and understanding those. That I've felt that has helped people understand it a little bit more. So the more time you spend in those tools, the more easier it will become during the exam. So definitely give that a shot. So some of the questions around exam itself or specifics, I'm just giving those. But generally, all the recommendations around or the best practices, FAQs around the exam environment and things like that are available on the Linux Foundation website. So do spend some time there. There are some best practices and FAQs given there. So definitely check that out. All right. I think that's about it. I do see a few more other questions that has been answered. So Antonio asks, I'd like to learn best practices and get some hands-on experience. I'm running out of ideas. Are there any good resources online, or could someone experience suggest some practical exercises? So when you say exercises, are you just talking about like generic projects, or just more practice than the courses, or are you referring to specifically for the exam? So if you're not referring to the exam, like I'll answer both. So if you're referring to the exam, then yes, there's like there are many other options available, right? So you can just I mean, we do have our own mock exams and ultimate mock exams, but outside of that, there are a couple of others available as well, like Killer Shell and others that people usually refer to. So I mean, the more practice you can get, the better. So definitely check those out. But if you're not referring to the exams, we do have KodeKloud Engineer, which is something that you can try. There are multiple levels of Kubernetes practices available. You get like random tasks every day, and as if you are an employee of a company. So this is kind of there's a little bit of story to it, and that's another and it's just hands-on labs, right? Hands-on practices. So I would highly recommend checking that out. Yeah. Outside of that, I think if you are interested in projects and stuff, I think that's something we're working on next, right? Like a smaller version of that is what I showed, along with the cloud labs that were available. But we're planning to create more around everything cloud as well as Kubernetes and everything else. So do check out. Okay. Okay, Stefan has a question. What I would love as a feature inside the course is to skip labs for situations where you listen to topics. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think when the mobile app would come out, it would, because those labs would not load in the mobile app. So it would be, I think that would be where that would be the right option. So when the mobile app would come out, you can just use that to listen to the course, and the labs don't really work as the labs are skipped on the mobile app. Right. I think it's time. If you have any other questions, feel free to let us know through the Discord channels or our forum. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. It was great talking to you, and do share the topics that you'd love me to cover for next time. Until then, goodbye. Thank you so much.